Good morning, good day, good afternoon, whatever, wherever you are. It is the latest episode of What Did I Miss and What Just Happened. I love NBA playoffs. That's it. That's the whole podcast. We are done. I love the NBA playoffs. This first round has not let me down even a little bit. Am I wrong? Am I right? Are you guys sad? Were you sad to see the Nets go? I mean, you live out there, Paige. How does it feel this morning?
I do, and no one cares. I'm with you. Sweepy, sweep, sweep. The NBA playoffs rule. Preach, right? Girl.
No one cares. I think people care a little too much, but they just aren't in Brooklyn.
Oh,
yes. Right. I was going to say, yes. My neighborhood, like people in Brooklyn, no one's like Brooklyn in the streets like, no.
Yeah, no. Caring is banned in Brooklyn. If you express too much passion for anything in Brooklyn, you're screwing up.
That's true.
Pump the brakes on the hipster vibes. But
what do you mean pump the brakes? We're not the ones that put it there.
Yeah.
Y'all did. Okay. That's your problem.
Besides, brakes are kind of overrated anyway, man. Who needs brakes?
Yeah, man. I'm going to get another chai.
I'm from Gowanus.
I knew the Nets weren't going to do anything, right? I think everyone knew that. That writing's been on the wall for many, many months now. But I would even be lying if I said I thought they'd win one. Like somehow, accidentally, they would have won one. And the fact that they couldn't win one is shocking. Also, side note, when and if and when the Celtics do pull this thing off and they go to the finals and win, I want that little clip of me saying that. I want it everywhere. I want it on billboards. I want it on marquees in Times Square. I want it all over the place. Just a little side note, Gabe. So I wanted you to put that in budget moving forward.
No, I had a line item for that already.
Okay,
that
fair enough.
Always in there. Yeah.
Are you shocked? What are you more shocked at? Them getting swept or the reaction of the talking heads who genuinely seem surprised? Like really surprised?
I think they're just surprised that now they have to think up like a few of the players on some of the other teams. And they're like, damn it, I thought we could just rant about Kyrie Irving this whole time. Like I'd get at least one more round of, killing him. No, I think that it's time to ask, like, if we can do a full investigation and like, were they actually ever trying? Because it honestly appears that Kyrie Irving had zero interest whatsoever in playing, which is more interest than the third best player on the team had in even like pretending to play. Like Kevin Durant is not a guy I'm going to cape up for, but at least the guy seems like he still wants to win.
Right.
The other two dudes on this team have no interest in basketball.
Are you talking about Ben Simmons as if he's on the team?
I sure am.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute. I love that. That's semantics. Is he on the team? Can you be on a team for which you've never suited up? Or for which people are booing you already and you've literally not even played 1 second for that team? Can you? Are you? Are you part of that team? What are you? Who are you? What is your job? What's your point? What is your goal? I'm sick and damn tired of Ben Simmons. Look, I'm never going to pile on mental health. I don't win. Nobody wins. None of us win. That's a gray area. I'm not in your head. But what I'm going to do, don't you dare try to hide yourself under what you know is a taboo topic for anyone to talk about. This is the most chicken shit way I have ever seen anyone duck out of something in my whole life. Oh, what? We're 10 seconds away from being swept. Oh, everything hurts. Can't go. No. He is. Look, man, no one's saying you have to play basketball. Do the right thing. Give the money back and go do something else with your time. You are not required to be an NBA player. You're not entitled to it and you're not required. Go away. Stop the stealing of the money. And look, everyone knows Michelle Denise Beadle the first loves being paid for not working. It is one of the best things I've ever done in my entire life. Best 2 years of my life. But that being said, at some point, have a little pride, have a little self-respect, maybe respect for the league that you one time apparently wanted to be in, I guess. I am so grossed out by Ben Simmons and his camp. And P.S., shout out Brian Windhorst, because he was the one that said, Ben Simmons is not coming in this play. He's not playing. And everyone's like, oh, Woj said he is. You're wrong. No, shout out Brian Windhorst. He was right. And I wish he had stuck to his guns because he was right from the beginning. I am so over all of it. Like, I wish sports were a little more cutthroat in the sense that, yeah, you have a contract. Guess what? No one cares. Rip it up. No more money. You're done. You've gotten paid enough for doing nothing. Period. Nobody's back hurts this much. Robert Williams had surgery less than a month ago, and he's out there playing. I pulled my hamstring again, and I did a 2-hour yoga workshop. I don't want to hear about this anymore. He's such a... I don't want to say what he is, but he is. He's that one word.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
Not the other word.
Well, so I want to ask you about this because I think you sort of hit on it. We were all very reluctant, I think coming from a good place in our hearts, trying to be
100.
understanding. We were all very reluctant to be judgmental. We were all very reluctant to say what we were starting to feel for the last few weeks or months, really. But we all gave this guy the benefit of the doubt for a long time. But now it's like he's still battling to get, what, $20 million from the Sixers for time he never played and probably never intended to play?
Never.
Right? And so it's like, I'm not some, legal eagle, and I certainly don't know a lot about contract negotiations between Players Association and the league, but like, isn't this going to have real ramifications that they're going to be like, whoa, hold on. We're not paying you guys when you, without real evidence, cite mental health problems. Right. And then you're still going to get paid? Like, that's not going to be part of the next deal.
I mean, it's a bad precedent if they don't. And the players, you're in a bad predicament if you're the Players Association, because it's, by definition, your duty to protect the players.
You have to support
But I would
them.
make the argument that, like, A, is he a player? And B, is it good for all the other players to set this as a precedent? I don't think it is. I really don't. It's such a bad look. Like, and the thing about this is, A, if mental health was an issue ever or recently, then all that wind up about he's practicing and look at this video and game 4 and da-da. I don't know how that was ever a good idea in the first place. Like, why would you leak or say anything for a guy like this who's clearly got a different way of dealing with life? Just, if he was going to play, just put him out there and surprise the world. But you did it the other way, which is stupid and dumb and would have worked for anybody else. But then on top of that, like, just put the uniform on. I truly believe that if he would have just showed up last night, showed up and put the uniform on and went out there for a play for 25 seconds or a minute, whatever, and then was like, I can't do it. None of this would be as bad today because people would at least say, well, shit, maybe he did want to be out there. Like, maybe he actually does give a damn and wants to try. But the fact that, like, you couldn't even do that. You couldn't just, you knew the series was over. You guys had no shot in the world. Give us a half a minute. Give us, a series. I don't care. Give us something. Nothing. And then it's very rare that a player so highly coveted for whatever reason and high profile gets booed before he even plays for that city. That's historical. Well, this is awesome.
Iconic.
And if
a litigious king.
If we're going to take him seriously, as we did for a long time, and say that he's really battling something and it's in his head and we don't understand it and we don't have to. We just have to trust him. If that's the attitude we're supposed to have now, then how is putting him out in front of 20,000 people booing him and cursing at him and one day it'll get worse? Like, how is that helping anyone?
I mean, I would argue it's not. This is why it's such a bad territory, because it's not a thing. There is no test for mental health. Like, I'm not going to go get a CAT scan and it's going to say I have severe depression. That's why this is so tricky to deal with. But it's also a slap in the face to people who really are battling demons. Like, this is a real thing for a lot of people. Like, I wish I could give Kevin Love truth serum and be like, what do you think about this? Like, what are the guys that have been outspoken about their battles? Like, what do they really think about all this? Because it's not right. And it's, you could say it's the back, you could say whatever it is, but it's just go away, man. Like, I don't even know if you're good. It's been so long since I've seen or cared about Ben Simmons with a basketball in his hands. I don't even know if you're good. And maybe that's part of this. Maybe the expectation is so high for him that he crumbles under the weight of that. Whatever that is, get help. Whatever you need, get it. But your camp did you no favors by leaking all of this information and videos of you out there in the gym and doing all this. They did you no favors. They literally hurt you. in this. So you might want to rethink your association with Clutch Sports and whatnot, because I don't think they knew what they were doing either. That this was a debacle for them as well. And they've had a year to figure out a strategy. This isn't a 2-week thing. This is a year of this garbage. Like, he literally sat out an entire season for what I would have to argue at this point is almost nothing now. You set out a playoff series after you swore, like, I just went out of Philly, man. I just went out of Philly. Fresh start, new start, gonna be a new me, blah, blah. No, it's the exact same guy. And it cracks me up because we just got Charlie Brown, well, we being them, again. The dude is who he is. This is his legacy. You will remember Ben Simmons 10 years from now as a footnote. Oh, wasn't that the guy that? Yes, that's that guy. And when you lose everybody, like when you lose players, because those were the guys that were supporting him up until the very end. But when you lose them, you're on an island. You thought you were on an island before. You're 1,000% on an island now. So you and Rich Paul, I don't know, have a picnic, enjoy the summer. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one.
That's what sticks out most to me is that we're not really hearing from his teammates at all about the situation. Most of them are just like, I don't want to talk about it. No comment.
Like, is he a teammate? I don't even know you.
Maybe not. But at some level, couldn't they, even if they didn't know him that well personally, on some level, couldn't they identify if there were like around pressures and things like that? But they're not saying anything. And just,
I mean, would you?
I don't know about that.
Like, well, let's say we get a new employee today, right? They sort of show up once, they say nothing, and then they really just don't do anything ever. And then it comes down to like something, and we're like, would we have their back? I wouldn't. I don't know you enough to have your back.
Maybe not that guy. I just mean that like you might be able to empathize somewhat and say that. Or try to get to know the guy. Maybe they do know the guy and they're just like, I'm not touching this.
Why though?
It just seems radioactive in a way.
But here's why I would argue no. Because like Ben Simmons, the world's not, it's not you and then everyone else. Like KD's legacy's on the line and KD's out there trying. Kyrie, for whatever it's worth, his legacy it's bizarre and all over the place, but he was out there trying. Every other person on that team was out there trying. I don't want to have the pressure of being on a superstar team in a number one market. And now I have to worry about what this sensitive asshole is dealing with. No, I got my own shit to deal with. Like, I'm Kevin freaking Durant. Yeah. People think I'm one of the best.
I think we're saying the same thing. Like, it's indicative that they're not saying anything. Love it. Like, think about when Simone Biles didn't compete at the Olympics. You had every one of her teammates, past teammates, coming out of the woodwork to say, in some ways, defend her and say she did the right thing. I'm proud of her. This is for her, whatever. Like, no one is really saying anything.
Yeah, but again, we're going into some territory that I'm probably not the best person to judge any of this or weigh in on this, but I'm curious, like, the response that Biles got, which was overwhelming at the time. The only acceptable opinion at that time in our industry was she's heroic, good for her, right? Mm-hmm. And, okay, fine. I think if you felt anything else, you said, just going to keep this to myself for now.
Yeah. Don't say it out loud.
Let's see how this plays out.
Fair.
And I think athletes, or more importantly, the people who represent them, because that's a smaller group of people. There's thousands and thousands of professional athletes. There's only a few dozen people who rep the big names. They saw a playbook there. Just like the way we're seeing in the NFL, and this may segue us to some other topics. Oh, you mean you can take your team out of your Twitter profile and sort of vaguely tell someone you know that you kind of wish you could be traded, and what do you know? Poof, new contract?
Right.
And just after you fought for all these guarantees, they see patterns. And so I'm not discounting anything that Simone Biles was dealing with. I'm sure it was real. But cynical people can see that and go, wait a minute, that worked so well, no one even questioned it. You weren't allowed to question it. Why don't we run that play? Let's see how that works for Ben. And again, maybe he's got some serious shit going on. I don't know. But
then do this. Then here's what I would argue, right? Like, let's put ourselves in his situation. Let's say I truly wake up every morning under this cloud of just anguish and depression, and I don't know what I'm doing, right? But I've got these people here. I'm being paid a lot of money, and I'm paying these people a lot of money, and their job is to protect me, to further my career, to be there for all of that, right? So if that's the case, then wouldn't it behoove them to be a little more transparent as far as sort of, here's what his journey has been. You don't have to tell us everything. That's all confidential. But maybe just give us a little insight into sort of okay, how what have you been doing? What have you found has helped you in the last year that sort of maybe felt you like you're getting back on track and there's a little more sunshine in the world and da-da.
Right.
Give us any of that. Instead, they went just generic PR injured athlete coming back route with the video and the leaks and he'll be back on, Monday, blah, 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 which is fine if your athlete is just a guy who got hurt who we're waiting for his return. He's not that guy. And so that's why I think people are lost now. People are over it because there's been no transparency. There's been really generic strategy on the part of his team, and it has completely backfired. Because here's the thing. We're not the ones who said he was going to play on Monday. That wasn't us. You told us he was playing on Monday. That got everybody, oh, interesting. Okay, cool. This will be fun. We'll see this guy maybe for the first and last time this season, but that'll be neat. We haven't seen him in a year. You did that. You put that pressure on your client. And if you didn't specifically do it, you sure as hell didn't do anything to stop it either. Because if I'm his camp and I see Woj going on national television talking about big return coming up, I'm texting Woj while he's on the air. Stop talking. That's not about to happen. He is nowhere near a return. That never happened. Mm-hmm. So it's really hard now for even the most empathetic person to muster up any empathy because it doesn't smell like what it once smelled like. It now smells like a guy who, for whatever reason, perhaps chose the wrong career and has managed to steal a bunch of money. And P.S., not mad at you, but has done that. And maybe you take a real good come to Jesus look at yourself this summer and think about what it is. Because you can only do this for, granted, we know teams are stupid and they give money away like morons. But this is not a good thing. This is not a good way to have your name be attached to any sort of legacy. And you're young, you're 25 years old, dude. You have time to straighten this up, but you need to talk. I've never heard him talk. What? Mm-hmm. Zero empathy now. Zero. I don't think any of this is what it is being sold as. And I think that's unfortunate because it's a really dangerous and despicable version of, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. I don't like it. I'm over it. That's all. But by the way, he's not
but also
he was
genius.
Just part of the, he was just part of the weekend. It's to me, it's like you've got New York and Los Angeles. Neither one are in the playoffs anymore. Do you know how freaking awesome that is for the rest of us? It's not my birthday, but it weirdly feels like my birthday. I don't know how else to say it. You've got Phoenix back against the ropes, which P.S. called it. But you've got these young up and coming superstar names that people are having to Google every time there's a game on because they're nobody who knew what a Herbert Jones was before all of this. Nobody
still
did.
Don't know what that
now
is.
Now the guy's right, and the dude's he's killing it. These kids are killing it. To me, this has been such a much more. I know people always want to argue about, well, you need the markets, and I would argue you don't need the markets, the big markets in the playoffs. I'm enjoying these playoffs more than I have in quite some time. I don't have a team at all in any of it, and I think it's fun as hell. You got the Ja Morant. Oh, by the way, Ja Morant, most improved. Kind of hard to argue. Did you guys, by the way, a couple of the awards did go out. Ja Morant, most improved, Scotty Barnes, rookie, and of course Marcus Smart got defensive. We knew that. Anybody have any issues with those? Are we good? All right.
No, is most improved the right way to phrase it if he's already very good and he just becomes an MVP candidate? I don't quite understand how that's meant to work. Aren't you supposed to go from bench guy to
garbage?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess you could, I don't know. It's Bradley Cooper is a good actor, but then he'll take that one role that sort of propels him over the hump, right? And now all of a sudden you're oh, upper echelon. Okay, cool. And it's the thing with Ja Morant and really that team in general. It's a completely different team. And you could say that for New Orleans. I don't even understand what New Orleans is doing. And I'm so here for all of it. So most improves a tricky one, but by definition, he improved. And so I suppose, and he's been hella exciting to watch. And maybe it's too early in his career to give him an MVP nod. So perhaps that's sort of their way of acknowledging hell of a good season.
Giannis won in 2016.
Yeah, and Giannis was born.
Paige doing some fast Googling. Right. Nice.
Yeah, maybe you being sick is the way to really climb that ladder.
My fever.
Oh, by the way, before I even forget, I wanted to tell Paige this. So I went to a thing last week from my high school, and they did like this honor thing, whatever. And I walked in, and Stan Leach was the coach at Bernie High School, and he's still there, and he's like in charge of everything, right? And I walked in, and he's like, oh, and then he goes, almost like the kind of hard time you give Paige, am I right? And I'm like, what the? Paige? I go, are you listening to the podcast? And he's like, oh, I think she's great. I think you guys are. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to tell her. This is awesome. So
wow. Shout out Paige
Stan. You're breezy.
Gabe, nothing.
He didn't say anything
Coach
about
Leach.
me. That's fine.
No, just the only Paige.
Makes sense. Thanks, Coach. I think you're glossing over something, though. It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We talked about who's the most famous person from your school, and a week later they had a ceremony for you.
That was not the award. No, there were 4. There were 5 of us, 5 total. And I will say this, and I'm not even being fake humble because I am arrogant at the end of the day. I do understand that, but everyone else on the list had like done something, right? Like one guy was this amazing scientist who's discovered like snails that the world didn't know exist. This woman, Rachel Seawald, is like works for the NCAA and does all of this work towards trying to make that like a better like people that did stuff, like a woman who taught for 40 years and just whatever. And then you have dipshit over here who's like, I interviewed Billy Bush once and also travel. Like I did like, it's just because it's TV. That's it. That's really all it is. So I was honored, but also a little embarrassed. And also you had to speak, like you had to kind of say something and I just was like, they made me go last, also already set up for failure. And I'm not a good public, like that's not my thing. I'd rather you ask me questions. I was like, there were kids there from the high school. I was like, I'd rather just you ask me whatever you want. I'll literally answer anything you ask me. But to get up here and just like, that's my worst nightmare. That and like,
did you prepare something, or did you go off the cuff?
Snail.
While I was sitting there listening to everyone else, I like kind of made notes to myself. But really, I just wanted to thank them.
Wrote down what they were saying. I
thanked them. I sarcastically thanked my parents. Things. Well, because other people thank their parents. I was like, do we have to thank our parents? Is that like what we're doing right now? Because let's be honest, they didn't do shit.
Did you? Who was it? Which award show was it? Was it Snoop who was like,
oh, when he was like, I thank me?
Somebody that's like, I want to thank me. Yeah.
I mean, it's only fair. He is the one doing everything. Literally everything.
Yeah. I mean, look.
By the way, this is a nice segue into Paige. Paige, social media little birdie told me that you watched a little F1 this weekend.
Oh, I did. Not only did I watch, I had a setup. I have a nice backyard in Brooklyn. I got my iPad out. I had my coffee. It was just cool enough, like a light jacket. It was perfect.
And what'd you
I had
think?
a great time.
Any thoughts?
I was very bummed for Leclerc and Ferrari, given that they were in Italy. And it seems like he could have, it was just like a mental error, something that could have been avoided. On the other hand, was really happy for Lando to get on the podium. And Leclerc still in first overall. You know how I feel about Max, so whatever. Fine.
What about Red Bull in general? Like this season's very weird for people who were just learning this sport, like newbies.
Yeah.
I don't get how like the same team can't finish a couple races, then finishes first, then finishes 1, 2. Then meanwhile you have Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton can't even sniff like a top 10. He's being lapped by Max Verstappen. I that to me is where I wish some genius would explain to me how a car goes from here to here or here to here in like months. It's been months since the season ended.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Like his car is garbage.
Well, they have like the new car stuff. Like, I don't know. Well,
how much new stuff can be like they're saying, I guess Mercedes is whining, and I say whining not negatively, like it seems like a genuine gripe that their cars, it's called porpoising, where it bounces extremely to the point where it causes like pain and and they're saying it's the worst it's ever been. And I'm like, but why? You didn't say anything about this last season. What happened? I don't understand. But I do love it because I don't want Mercedes to win, so it's fine.
But it's so fun. And I did feel like I did some NASCAR stuff last week. And between being very excited for F1, I was like, should I also watch Talladega? Like, am I a motorsports person now? Maybe.
Gabe, are we okay if she
I didn't watch
Talladega.
But
I'm sorry. I was checking my email. What were you guys talking about?
Oh, my God.
Paige should be our motorsports. She's our Marty Smith.
Right? You're our guru.
I mean, look, my family's from West Virginia.
So's mine.
It's in my blood.
Am I allowed to make jokes when you guys say those things, or do I need to just how does this work? I don't know how this works.
All our families are interconnected, something like that. Is that where you're going with this?
That's yeah. On the levels.
My parents are cousins. My teeth are bad. Blah blah blah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm glad we got that out of the way. Gabe, you're an ass. We're taking a break. We are taking a break because I just snuck a peek at something I might have missed, and I did miss it, but I'm excited to hear about it. So we'll be right back. Beadle here. Paying down debt, it's a pain in the butt, especially when you need to keep track of multiple monthly payment dates. If you're tired of juggling due dates, consolidating with a personal loan could be your answer. That way you'll have just one due date a month, and Credit Karma can help you find the best option for you. Credit Karma uses your credit data to find loan offers that are personalized to you, so you can have a better idea of what loan amount you can get approved for. Credit Karma will even show you your chances of approval, so you could choose between loan offers that you're more likely to get approved for and apply with more confidence. Comparing loan offers on Credit Karma is 100% free, won't affect your credit scores, and could save you money. Credit Karma. Apply with more confidence today. Ready to apply? Head to creditkarma.com/loan offers to see personalized offers. Go to creditkarma.com/loan offers to find the loan for you. That's creditkarma.com/loan offers. We are back. We've taken a breather. Oh no, why am I crooked? Look at this. Whoa. Yeah. You know what? In all the excitement, I think I kicked my desk. I fixed it. I mean, for what it's worth. Allegedly, I've missed some other things. I know I did because I just saw one. But it's what else did I miss? Guys, who's starting?
Paige, you go first.
Yes. Great. I'll start. Beadle, we'll go through these quickly.
Got it.
Hot off last week's Master P coaching pitch that I gave you with the Lakers, Shaq said he would consider coaching the Lakers for $25 million a year. Should they consider?
Yes. Send him a contract today. I'm in. Go. Next.
J.R. Smith.
$25 million a year. Yeah. Of course, yeah.
It seemed like a time saver. Just pay Shaq any amount of money that he wants.
Right?
It seems like...
Who's going to get mad at Shaq?
It seems like it could be a Ben Simmons situation. You get paid a lot to do nothing. Okay, keep going.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do?
J.R. Smith won the Academic Athlete of the Year at North Carolina A&T this year with a 4.0 GPA while being a golfer, if you remember that happened. J.R. Smith, a student. Beadle, do you think you would get better grades than J.R. Smith?
No, I hate studying. I hate tests. I learned that early. Also, you trying to get the PhD? Get it? See what I did? Nailed it. Nailed that. Remember? Trying to get the pipe? Come on, man.
I see what you
did.
Call
back. Okay. Gabe knows that.
Dude, if you don't think J.R. Smith and your brain automatically goes trying to get the pipe, then your brain's broken. Because that's how it works.
My brain doesn't automatically go there, and I don't think that I get to make those references on this show, but that was funny. I liked it.
No, I don't think I could because I would know that it doesn't matter, and so I wouldn't even care about my grades.
All right.
Great.
That's the truth. Sorry.
It is strange that J.R. Smith now
I love it.
Is like a good student.
I love it.
At the time was like, no way, college.
No, because he knew what his future was going to be. And now he's like, now I'm doing it because he wants to do it, not because he has to do it. It's a different thing.
Kudos to him.
I like it.
Speaking of excellence, Alexander Skarsgard ate every 2 to 3 hours and set 3,700 calories per day for Northman, his new movie, Training for Northman.
I also eat every 2 to 3 hours.
Discuss.
Is a bag of powdered donuts every 2 to 3 hours considered training? Some would say. This is the thing, though. If you were all do this and be like, I'm going to look like Alex. No, we're not. He's a freak of nature. He's a unicorn amongst humans. So, yeah. But I do love when actors give us their sort of BTS, how they got in shape nuggets. Because I'm like, shut up, dude. Like, that's all you had to do. You have chefs.
Does this make you want to see the movie more or less?
Not even a little, no. I'll watch it when it's on my TV and I don't have to leave the couch. Like every other movie that I watch.
Can I just throw out there as the guy on the panel here?
Okay. Sure.
That there's only a few people in Hollywood who are honest about this kind of thing. Like every time some actor goes through some body transition and becomes super jacked, there's like some nutritionist jumps up to talk about how many eggs he ate a day. Okay? But there's a few comedians and actors who have podcasts who come on here and tell the truth. And the answer is steroids. They do steroids.
Hell yeah.
And they do it properly with supervision, but they're doing steroids. You don't get to look that way by eating a lot of calories. It doesn't work.
No, because I've tried that. I have tested that theory. And the opposite has happened. Also, GHB, like the women who are like, I just drink a lot of water and I put olive oil and no, shut up. No, you don't. You don't do that. There's no one that eats more olive oil than me. That is a fact. And I will go up against anyone. And yeah, J-Lo, I drink more water probably than you do too. My skin's not aging backwards. So I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it.
Don't get me started on her.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Skarsgård, he does look good though, and several weeks ago we had a conversation about who the hell was it? Oscar Isaac, and the word hot got thrown around, and I took exception with that.
It's all relative.
Yeah, Skarsgård gets that word.
Skarsgård is why I watched True Blood every episode. He's why I did. He was perfect.
There's so many of them too.
True Bloods?
The Skarsgards.
Yeah, but he stole the concentrated part of the gene pool.
Wait, there's more than one of these guys?
There's like 4 of them.
Yeah, the guy that plays the clown in It is a Skarsgård.
Who's the one in Succession?
That's Alexander Skarsgård. The one that came on last season, real quick. That's Alexander.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could tell because he was hot.
Bill? This is Bill Skarsgård?
Yeah, you're going to know Bill.
That's not true.
No, you're going to know him though. Isn't he an uncle? He's an uncle, right? He's older. Oh, no, that's Clown. That's Clown from It.
I don't think that's the same family.
No, they got the weird, like, cool, like, Nordic cheekbone situation.
Their dad is also an actor?
Yeah, their dad's famous. You'll know the dad. And there's the other one that's married to, like, Maggie Gyllenhaal. Isn't that a Skarsgård?
I think that's true as well. Dad?
Oh, yeah,
you know him.
The dad. He's a good actor. I didn't know that was their dad. Okay.
Oh, yeah, and Peter Skarsgård is Maggie Gyllenhaal's husband. I'm telling you, Skarsgård is like the Hemsworth of, I'm assuming, Sweden. Is that where they're from? I'm guessing.
I'm not sure.
Is that wrong?
That sounds right.
Right? Isn't it?
Yeah, Swedish.
Okay, good.
Sweden.
Yeah. Skarsgårds, man. It's like Smith in Sweden. For all I know, none of them are related, but there's a million of them.
Can you imagine if you were a Skarsgård from Scandinavia, willing to eat 300 or 3,700 calories a minute or whatever the hell that story said, and then Hollywood didn't go with you for the Viking movie? Imagine the L that would be. They're like, The Rock is going to play a Viking.
Oh, that's some appropriation right there. I don't think we would be good for that.
That'd be awesome.
You're not allowed to do that. Yeah, I wonder if there's like with the Hemsworth, there's that one brother that's not famous that they always kind of make jokes with and whatever. I don't know. Is there a Skarsgård they keep in the basement that they're like, this is the non-famous Skarsgård?
Yeah. The third
comes out like, hello,
the Cooper Manning.
I'm Jack Skarsgård. Watch me juggle. And they're like, get back in the basement, you weirdo. Maybe. There is now. It's like bitch Stewie. Put him in there.
Even the worst Baldwin was like a famous, successful person.
That's true. Well, which one's the worst? Because I argue it's Steven, right? The Biodome Baldwin versus the Billy Baldwin who was in the movie with Cindy Crawford that was awful but sexy.
No, Backdraft
He's married to
Baldwin.
China Phillips. Huh?
Backdraft Baldwin is the shit Baldwin.
That's Billy Baldwin, the hotter one. See, I think Stephen Baldwin's the shittier Baldwin.
No way. He was in Usual Suspects. He was great.
Oh, he was in Usual Suspects, wasn't he?
I'm not as familiar with the Baldwins.
Oh, you know what? I need to go down a rabbit hole. I'll do that later. I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Sorry.
All right, next. There's video of after the Alabama spring game.
Oh, great. We're already back to this.
Here we go. Nick Saban would not let the winning team... These are all his players. He would not let the winning team share celebratory cake with the losing team, so the losing team learned a lesson. So my question to you is, do you think that they just got in the car that the school bought them and drove to a bakery to get their own cake?
Yes, I do, actually. Okay. I really do. I mean, it's very performative. I'm sure everyone's like, oh, look how hard. No, but it's, besides, cake's overrated. I'll go ahead and say that. I think we're all thinking it. Highly overrated.
Cake is overrated.
Cake,
do you prefer
more times
pie?
than not, is not that good. And I guarantee you this cake was probably some crappy like sheet cake from a grocery store. Probably sucked.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want that stupid cake anyways. You're better off losing.
What do you have instead of cake?
Give me cupcakes or give me fajitas. But do not bring me a cake.
I would say cake is overrated is one of the wilder takes that we've had on this show. And I didn't see it coming, and I don't know how to respond other than I agree with you, wedding cake is overrated.
I'm telling you, I have disliked more cakes than I've liked in my life. Easily. Because you can go so wrong with the flavors, the icing, the everything. Like there's so many variables to what makes it good. And for me, more times it misses.
Ice cream
And yes,
cake?
I do like a good fruit pie, Paige. I do love a good fruit pie. A what?
Ice cream cake?
It's okay.
That's just ice cream.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's just ice cream with a weird crust.
All right. I'm
Fine.
also on team no cake.
Yeah, no cake. See?
Okay.
I like this. I like where we're going.
Current but not future 49ers wide receiver Debo Samuel was at the club this weekend, and you know how they do like the bottle service and they have the girls and the lights and then they bring out the sign? You know.
It's my life, yeah.
Someone brought one out that said, Debo is staying, #49ers. Do you think that's as good of a strategy as any to keep him on the team?
I mean, as long as he didn't have to pay for any of it, sure. But if at the end he still had to pay for shit, no, I think that was a bad strategy.
It was like a group next to him, and then in the video, I think it was like a Snapchat, someone saw him and zoomed in, and he just gave him a little nah.
That's hilarious. By the way, so he's going to clubs in that area of the country? See, I don't know.
It might have been in Vegas or who knows? I couldn't tell. Maybe LA. Vegas. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I mean, look, I kudos for trying. You can only try. But that's a waste of money. Just a future notice.
I think Debo is going to be all that gets talked about after the first couple of picks in the draft, because I don't think anyone really wants to talk about like linemen from North Carolina State. So they're just going to say, will this be when Debo Samuel gets traded? You know, Debo Samuel's out there. What about Baker Mayfield? Like, I think that's the way the draft's going to play this year.
Yeah, they'll pull like a Tom Brady and like sort of hijack the news cycle from the young kids.
I think so. I think there's going to be a lot of linemen who don't get their name pronounced correctly or celebrated when they're picked.
You know what? That's crap. Linemen are just...
I do like the idea that Kyle Shanahan is just like calling these clubs where he knows Debo will be and trying to do that.
Right? He can write it off, use the business card, company card. Thank you. Yeah, it's $5,000 for a bottle. Right. I don't care. Just do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What else?
All right. This story is complicated. I don't know where you're going to take this one. But so animal rights activists ran onto the court of the Timberwolves Grizzlies game. There's been a lot of this going on. So one woman tried to get out there to make her statement. But before she got like one step onto the court, a female security guard had a beat on her, leapt up and tackled her. And she was pulled off the court within seconds, which led everyone to say, draft this security guard to an NFL team. Beadle, have you seen this video, and do you think you like her technique?
Yeah. So it is a woman, right? The security guard was a woman. Because there was like, we couldn't, for a minute there, I was like, I thought it was a woman. And if it's not, whatever, fine. Either way.
That was my impression.
But that's what I thought. And so what I thought was funny is because it's the woman who ran onto the court and her friend who's immediately doing this, right? So you're like watching this happen. Mm-hmm. And then security person is just like this. So clearly, they weren't very subtle because she already had like the bead on them. She's like, I got you. And it was so seamless. Like it was perfectly executed. Like it looked like a choreographed stunt that was being filmed for a movie. And I also have to wonder, how bad are those two chicks' peripheral vision that you don't even realize that there's a person 3 seats away from you just staring at you waiting? Like it's like completely unaware. It makes me question your motives, you know, it really does. But yeah, the Glenn Taylor protest train keeps on chugging along, man. But and how much are they paying for tickets and to get into the building? And don't they know that when you pay for tickets, do you know how that works? Like who gets money from stuff like that? Like, do they know you're sort of contributing to the team and the owner? Whatever. None of it makes sense to me. I understand wanting to like that. I have no issue with. And I sort of tried to understand a little more about what is going on in a chicken farm and whatnot. I'm not taking that away from them, but it's just sort of like, I don't know. They got us to all Google it, but I don't know that we all understand it any better than we did a week ago. That's all.
Yeah, I didn't even Google. I just was like, yo, what's up with these people? I'm not weighing in on their cause, and hey,
no, you're right. What do they?
Do what you can, make your. And now we know something about it, but I don't know a lot, and I think they probably could be more effective.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next.
Which brings us to our most important question of the day.
Oh God.
At a Yankee game over the weekend, a man was caught on camera dipping his hot dog into a beer before taking a bite. Is this ever okay?
If your name is not Joey Chestnut, then it is not okay. If you are not in that moment engaged in an eating contest of some sort in which speed is the most important thing, then no, this is not okay. It's also disgusting. Was he with? He wasn't with a woman, I take it. He was either alone or with guys.
Couldn't tell.
Good guess. No.
What? I'm just trying to figure out.
He had a supermodel on his arm. Of course he wasn't with a woman. I haven't seen this clip. There's 0% chance he was with any other woman, man, whatever he might be into.
Right?
Nothing.
Like, it's weird because I want to ask, like, is it the hot dog you don't like or is it the beer you don't like? Like, what are you trying to mask with the other? And I can't answer it because some hot dogs are delicious and some beers are good, I guess. Like, I don't know. Are you in a hurry? You don't have time to eat them individually and consume them individually? I don't know. A
dry bun.
What's his story?
Paige, let me ask you this. What are you more, whose behalf are you more offended for? The hot dog or the beer?
That's fair.
The beer.
Right? Like, it's ruining the delicious beer more than it's probably barely impacting the hot dog.
Because the hot dog is disappearing because presumably you're eating it, but the hot dog remain in your
every
beer.
Sip of your beer.
And for that reason, it's bad.
Yeah.
I think the integrity of the hot dog bun is being the most affected by liquid introduced to it. So for me, the hot dog is really getting the short end of the stick here. So that's making me think that maybe it wasn't a good hot dog. And so he's just like, I got to eat something.
This was at Yankee Stadium, Paige?
It's like a $45 hot dog.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
They also have like sushi. Like there's like 5-star restaurants there.
They have real food. Like I like a good hot dog every once in a while, but like, yeah, you're right. There's real food too. Look, this guy is clearly a serial killer. I say we stop talking about him until he hears about this and comes and finds us. Thank you. Break time. Let's take a break.
Yeah, if you're this person, please write in.
If you're this person, never write in. I don't want anything to do with you. Thank you. I want to make sure we're all clear on where we stand.
Got it. Yep.
What if this person is Paige's soulmate? Is this a meet cute? Oh my God, is this at the beginning of a meet cute? Oh my God, let's make it work.
Did I talk shit about you on the podcast?
You know what, hot dog beer guy? Please do write in. I reverse my stance. Thank you. Taking a break. We'll be back. Hopefully you're watching. If you're like me, then you love watching your favorite shows and sports, although you may not feel the same way about the price you pay for TV. Fortunately, our friends at Sling let you watch the TV you love for a price you'll love. Get your favorite live sports, news, and entertainment for just $35 a month. Forget about endless contracts and high prices. Sling offers incredible value when it comes to finding your favorite channels and shows. They have the best live TV all in one place. Live sports? Well, Sling has ESPN, TNT, TBS, that's just a few. Reality shows? You can watch TLC, Bravo, MTV, and more. How about national news? MSNBC, CNN, Fox News? Good? Thousands of movies and shows on demand? Well, you guessed it. Sling's got that too. It's easy to set up and easy to use. You can stream on any device and record up to 50 hours with included DVR space. Check out sling.com for special offers. Sling, the live TV you love for a price you'll love. Try us today. Flower season is upon us. What are you waiting for? Get the hose, get the sprinklers, grab the fertilizer, and get to it. You're probably thinking you have so much work to do, get it green and healthy, but Sunday takes all the work out for you. Sunday can help you grow a beautiful lawn without the guesswork or the nasty chemicals. Their custom plans include fertilizer and everything you need to easily care for your lawn, and with ingredients like seaweed, iron, and molasses, you can feel good with kids and pets being around. All you have to do is visit getsunday.com, put in your address, and their lawn analysis tool, it'll do the rest. They then use soil and climate data to create a personal nutrient plan delivered to your door when you need it. Just attach the ready-to-use pouch to a garden hose and spray. It takes less than 15 minutes. Best of all, this stuff really works. And Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off. Full season plans start at just $129, and you can get 20% off at checkout when you visit getsunday.com/Beadle. That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/Beadle. All right, go.
Okay, so as usual, you can text, call, anything you want. Our phone number, 631-397-0403. And we've gone a little bit long today, so we're just going to do one that I thought was really fun. And this is from Travis. He said, I saw Michelle at the range today. She was kind enough to pause her, quote, training to snap this photo. Big fan. I just sent it to you.
I'll take it.
What do you think?
I like that this person knows me well enough to know that I don't find boobs to be that important to my anatomy. So not having them in this picture doesn't faze me at all. Little hairier than I want it to be, but my guns look good. My whole torso looks great. The belt buckle is kind of off brand, but I can probably make that work for everybody.
You're
but
jacked.
the guns are for reals. Guns are legit. Yes.
Guns, actually quadruple guns there.
Like he's like he, me, whatever. I'm confused. Also like the sleeveless Canadian tuxedo. Yeah, this person is this my brother? Did my brother send this in? This person knows me. They know that this speaks to my heart. Thank you, Travis. Robert. Oh yeah, she told you the number. That means we're done. We will be back. Mm-hmm. Enjoy these NBA playoffs because they're not always this fun. And we'll see you guys, I don't know, in a few hours, I suppose. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Coach Leach. Paige says bye.
Miss you, Coach.